Okay. So let's understand first what is IAM, right? Identity and Access Management. The abbreviation of IAM is Identity and Access Management. What is meant by identity? What is access? We'll talk about. So, in every organization, right, to run the organization or to run the business, we need to have certain applications. Let us take the typical scenario for organization or enterprise itself, right? For the business, to run a business, we need to have certain applications. What are the applications we need in general? We need to have CRM applications, HCM application in general to run the business. These are the main applications, I could say. And then we need to have the payroll system. All these are applications need to run the business, right? Especially the corporate level business. To maintain all these applications, what we need to have? We need to have a username and password. Username and password. Then only the employees or organization workers or contractors, whoever can access these applications so that the business can run smoothly. And now, how these users can access? Most probably, in the most of the case, they use username and password. Even in our organizations also, when you log in, we will use one set of credentials to log in all the applications, right? Internal portals of the company and our payroll system, our timesheet system, everything we access through our username and password only. So before IAM, how it was is each and every application used to maintain a single username and password, right? CRM, one set of credentials, HCM, one set of credentials, payroll, ERP, and some XYZ application, whatever the application. Suppose in an organization, we have 20 applications and an average case, right? For that 20 applications, 20 usernames has to be maintained, 20 password also has to be maintained. So it's a tedious task, right? Even if you ask me to remember 4 passwords, it will be very difficult for me. So before 2000, early 2000, I would say, each and every application has to maintain a single username and password. And the users used to remember or noted down all the password for them to log in. So it became very tedious task. So what they have introduced is in early 2000, they introduced a concept called IAM, Identity and Access Management, because maintaining the password become fatigue. It's very difficult for users within the organization because on a daily basis they have to log in all these applications to run the business or to run the enterprise, and it becomes very tedious task. Suppose an employee has left the organization, then deprovisioning the user accounts from the systems become very hectic task. That means suppose 20 applications I have and there are 500 users, right? And this is 20 applications. I have to maintain the usernames and password of these 500 users for these 20 applications. And if any one of the user has left the organization, right? One user has left the organization, then admin task is to remove the username and password or his account details all from the 20 applications. So user provisioning means user creation. User deprovisioning, that means user removal, user account removal or deletion, you can say. So this task become very hectic because each application access is maintained application level. They used to store the username and password where? The database of that application. Now, in 2000, they have come up with a solution called identity and access management. Instead of storing the username and password individually into the applications, they have introduced a concept called identity and access management. So there are two parts actually. One is identity and another one is access. What is meant by identity? Suppose I will give you the real-time example. When you reach office on a daily basis, you have to show your ID card to the security guard, right? So that is you are giving your identity. You are proving that who you are, whether you are a authenticated person or not to enter into the office premises or office building premises, right? And after that, he accept your ID card and he allowed yourself to enter into the office premises. And then before entering into the ODC or your cabin, what you will do, you have to swipe the card, right? Your access card. And that is also comes under authentication. Why? You are proving yourself who you are, right? So one is identity management and that is user authentication. So whenever you have to access the application, even though if you are an employee of the organization, you need to have username and password. And to maintain that, instead of having the traditional approach in the individual application level access, they have come up with a centralized access. And that centralized access actually introduced in year of 2000, and they have introduced a tools called Active Directory, Microsoft product Active Directory, and LDAP. These are the IAM solution tools introduced in early 2000. These are the some of the IAM, and also they have introduced ADFS. All these on-premises IAM solutions, right? And they introduced a concept called SAML. We'll talk about in detail. But just to want to know history of what is IAM, I am talking about all these points. So before 2000, application level access was there, and it was becoming very hectic to maintain the user credentials and password, and also user provisioning and deprovisioning is become hectic. And there is a security breaches also because users have to keep the password with not the password standards. That means they have to keep the passwords as per their requirement, and it would become a weak case. The hackers can easily hack the passwords. So all these issues were there before 2000. So to solve all these issues, they have come up with a solution called IAM, Identity and Access Management. Okay. Now, identity means user authentication. Same example, building and access. So, user identity has to be maintained. Who is the user? And access. Access management means, suppose user has authenticated, he entered into the building, right? Authentication is happening successfully. And after entering into the building, can he able to access all the areas of the building? Obviously, no. Because you are a software engineer, most probably you can have access to your ODCR, your desk, and then pantry, and some areas. Apart from that, you can't go to the server room. Apart from that, you can't go to the restricted area because that is access restriction is available for your ID card. Similarly, once you log into the application, what kind of access do you have? That is managed in access management. The, I would say, the level of privileges the user has. The level of privileges the user have. So that decide access management. One is maintaining your identity, your username and password, and another one is the level of privileges you have. Suppose if you are an admin guy, if you are an admin user, the level of privileges is different from the normal user. Suppose in an hospital organization, we have a application of that health department, and as a doctor, I can see the patient records, I can update the patient records, right? I can modify, delete whatever I want, the extra privileges I have. But as a nurse, she can only view the patient records. She can't have the access to update the patient records. That is the level of access that we are restricting. And if it is a receptionist, what she can do, at max, she can book an appointment with the doctor. That is the only access that we are providing. So, what I am doing with the IAM framework is I am maintaining identity, usernames and password, and also I am maintaining or managing access of the users for different applications of the organization. Every organization today is using IAM solutions in place. You take any organization, any business which is running, who is maintaining the digital applications, they need to have IAM. That is why IAM is becoming more popular, and that is why even we are discussing about this session. Before IAM, it was very lot of issues employees, users, and enterprise owners has faced, and now to solve the problem, IAM is come. So, by definition, I would say IAM is a framework which have of policies, procedures to take care of identity and access management. Right? So 2010, they have introduced different IAM solutions, Active Directory, LDAP, SAML, all these. But after 2010, actually, cloud applications become more popular, if you remember. Right? After 2010 only, this happened. Everybody started migrating to cloud. So now they started looking for the better enhanced and evaluated tools after 2010 because of all the on-premises applications are started moving into the cloud environment. So they were started looking for a IAM solution, IAM solutions which is available on cloud. Because application is running on cloud and the application owners don't want to have the on-premises IAM solution in place. Before that, actually, everything was on-premises only. but they want to have the even IAM solution also on the cloud environment. So that time only they have started implementing different IAM tools to implement IAM solution. What are the tools? Okta, Entra ID, or Azure ID. Earlier it used to call Azure ID. Now they have renamed it as Entra ID, and this is the Microsoft product actually. And we have Ping Identity, One Trust, One Login. What else? Trivoli. There is IBM product also. So all these are IAM tools available in the market, and mostly used IAM tools, and number one in the market is Okta. And any prior coding experience needed. Yeah, please go ahead, Nikhil. You have some doubt?
Yeah, sir. There is this one was a CyberArk and Delinea, then TPAM.
Correct, correct. Very good. All these are IAM tools only. Yeah, there are a lot of tools actually. Microsoft having its own product, Oracle having its own product, IBM has its own product, right? So they see the demand actually what the IAM tool is having, because all the product companies has started implementing these products. Now, if you see in Oracle, we have OIM and OAM, Oracle Identity Management and Oracle Access Management. And also they have introduced a cloud-based solution, Oracle IDCS, Oracle Identity Cloud Service. Right? You might have heard all these names. So there are many in the market. And most of the yeah, very good. Sale point also there. Very good. Sale point also is one of the tool. Like this, we have many more tools actually. And Okta is leading the market since years from now. This is not my word actually. As per Gartner report, Okta is leading, and most of the companies are using Okta for the IAM solutions, right? And Okta is a user friendly. That is the one of the main advantage actually, and it is more secure. Also, it is a cloud based IAM solution, right? And many more other actually. So, in a nutshell, Okta is having more opportunity in terms of IAM engineers. So, what kind of roles that we will get once we done the course? Let's talk about that also, right? So, in IAM, we have different roles actually. The most common roles is IAM engineer. What he does, he is responsible for designing, implementing, and maintaining IAM solutions. That is the responsibility of a IAM engineer. And we have a IAM developer also. His main focus will be developing custom integrations and automating identity workflows. Right? This is the another role. And the third role is IAM consultant role. IAM consultant role would be he closely work with the business people, provides a expert advice to organizations in terms of IAM strategies. Suppose a business have a unique requirement for them, they have a application, and they are if their users accessing that applications from the different set of regions, right? And now I'm giving you one real-time example. Now, the organizations want to have the application access to all the people, but they are having some rules actually. From the Middle East user, they want to allow the users to access from the company's laptop only, and for the rest of the country, rest of the globe, they can access from any device. Like that, they want to impose some restrictions. During that time, as a IAM consultant, because since you are already become an expert in IAM solutions, you will come up with a solution and educate the business that we can use this tool. This is the approach and this is the plan. If you can go by this approach, by this strategy, we can achieve your requirement. That is the job of the IAM consultant. So he act as a mediator between the business people and the IAM team who is sitting in offshore or on-site. That is the role of IAM consultant. Access governance list. So what he does is he actually do the audit part. He takes care of the audit part. Suppose how many users are there, whether all the systems available in the organizations are compliant with the security standards or not, what are the access policies are there, what are the mitigated risks are there. He identify the related risks also whenever they implement the IAM solutions or whenever they come up with the new IAM approach. So all these will be taken care by access governance analyst, right? So that audit part also very crucial. And this guy is also makes more money. And coming to the last position, identity architect, who will take care of the design of the overall framework strategy for an organization. Suppose, let us suppose we have an organization, Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, Middle East customer, and he wants to have all his applications. Let us suppose 200 applications he have within his organization, and he want to have all these 200 applications IAM solutions to be in place, so that one centralized identity will be maintained and access management also will happen as per security standards. So this IAM actually is a sub component of cyber security. So in cyber security, we have different components, right? We have application security, we have network security. Like this, we have different components. Within those components, IAM is also one of them, identity and access management. Let me show you one diagram so that you can relate. Do we have that diagram with me? Let me quickly show that. Yeah, I got it. See here, the key components of cyber security: network security, application security, information security, endpoint security, and here we have identity and access management also. See this part, concentrate. So this is the part we are talking about. So it is the one of the component of cyber security. IAM is the one of the component or sub component, we can say. It's a sub component of cyber security. And this is also comes under place very crucial, because companies are ready to pay for the security of the applications in this digitalized era, because everything is become online, right? All application, especially cloud based applications, become more popular nowadays. Earlier, when I started career, most of the time we used to have on-premises server only. So everything what we used to develop in a on-premises server. Now nobody is using on-premises or at least I can say 80% to 90% people are using cloud-based solution only, because what are the best cloud providers we have? We have AWS, Amazon, we have Google Cloud, and we have Azure also, Microsoft Azure. These are the three best providers we have, and it is cost effectively. So, to secure these applications which are hosted in, yes, Suchit, please go ahead. You have some question.
Yeah. My question is, what is cloud and how it works in IAM?
Yeah, sure. So, see, earlier in the traditional approach, you used to have a physical server. Suppose you take any application, web application or business application, any application you take. So, to run that application, we have to deploy it somewhere in the physical server, right? Physical server. And when you talk about physical server, it is a machine or computer that is having high-end configuration, not like our normal PC or desktop. It is not like a normal PC. It has very high configuration in terms of hardware and software, right? You might have seen in the pictures, there will be huge data centers who maintains the physical servers, right?
Yes.
So all these physical servers, we used to deploy the code, and it will be some centralized, safest place. We used to deploy the code here, and once you deploy the code, you can launch your application and start using that application. But maintaining this server becomes very very cost for the application owners or business owners. Why? Because you need to have a separate dedicated team to maintain this server, to maintain, and regularly basis they have to update the software. And if anything goes wrong in this server, they need to have the maintenance team. So to run one application, they used to work 5 to 6 teams: hardware team, software team, IT desk team, support team. All these people have to work. So it is a very
Hectic.
hectic task for the to suppose you are running a business. Let us suppose you started a startup and you are running your own business, and you need to have one application, web application. For that, what you need to do? You need to have the physical server, deploy your application over there, and then launch your application. Then only the users can start using that application. And on a regular basis, you need to maintain this server. If anything is wrong, your application will be down. So to avoid this problem, to overcome this problem, in the year of 2010, the cloud become more popular, and some of the popular service introduced a cloud service actually. Let us say now you purchase one car, and as a owner, what is your responsibility? On a regular basis, you need to do the maintenance of that car, right?
Yes.
You have to take care of the servicing. Something goes wrong with the car, you need to change the spare parts, right? And you need to even guard the car. You need to park in the safest place so that nobody can theft your car. So all this is a problem for you. So instead of that, now lot of people actually taking cars on a subscription basis or not. So as long as you use the car, you just pay the rent and use the car. If you don't need, you can return back. The maintenance of the car, who will take care?
The service provider who is dealing with.
Ye- Exactly. Similarly, cloud applications, the providers will take maintenance, server maintenance, software maintenance, hardware maintenance, everything. The people who have hosted the application only pay on a subscription basis. How many users they are using that application and how much space they have occupied. So all these different factors are there actually. So that is cloud applications.
Sir,
Now,
one question. Sir, what if organization like parent organization or a captive organization, they are dealing with their own.
sorry, could you please repeat the question? I didn't get you.
Sir, we have service-based organizations and we have captive organizations. So,
Okay.
captive organizations like HSBC or JP Morgan, so usually they themselves they maintain all this stuff. So in that particular case, they will maintain their own cloud platform, na, sir, or they go back to the third-party vendors who are providing the services, because they deal with a large amount of financial data which is related to customers and their own this one. So the amount of risk will be involved high. So in such cases, will they maintain their own cloud platform or they rely on third party service providers?
Now, very valid question. So, in that scenario, what will happen is we have a concept called private cloud and public cloud, right? In private cloud, what will happen is there will not be any other application hosted in that data center. It will be dedicated for you only, since you are dealing with a financial application and it needs more security. What they will do is they will deploy into a protected cloud. There is a concept called public cloud also. In public cloud, all the applications will be hosted and there is no relation between one application to another application. But to be on the safer side, these banks and financial application opt for a private cloud instead of public cloud. Right? So that is now all the most of applications are running on the cloud, so they need to have the cloud-based solution, IAM solution instead of the on-premises solution. So because of that reason, the companies like Microsoft, Oracle, and this Okta, all they started building a IAM tools, and it become more popular. Now, as I mentioned, these are the roles available currently who are having very high in demand, and resource wise there are very less resource, right? Everybody is busy in doing Python, Java, everybody want to become a programmer, and now people are started on learning AI technologies because people want to upgrade themselves, right, on a keep-on basis. So we'll talk about what will be the impact on the IAM on the artificial intelligence part also. That also we'll talk about. But basically, there are very limited resources, and most of the people who are working in the current organizations who are started learning the tool and working on the project. And now only recent 3-4 years, people are started recruiting freshers also for IAM positions. Earlier, actually, they used to recruit already working people in the organization, train them, and assign to the project.
Okay.
That is how that model is used to work. But from the last 4 to 5 years, people started recruiting freshers as well for the IAM roles. Because of, company always pays more money in terms of security Because now security become very critical for the organizations and they are ready to pay more amount. So anywhere they can compromise, not at security. That is one advantage as a IAM engineer we have, right? They can't compromise on the security part. They must have the security engineer available in the organizations who can take care of the identity and access management. It's not like that one time you implemented the IAM solutions for all the applications. Now IAM engineer is not needed. No, that is wrong perception. IAM engineer will be needed to, they keep on add new requirements into the IAM. They keep on add the new users from the different regions. As the business grow, users also will grow, applications also will grow. They started integrating all the applications into the organization. See, earlier how we used to have the Office, MS Office application only will take as an example. MS Office they used to install into the personal computers of the employees, right? You know what they are started using? They have a cloud application called Office 365, which will solve all the problems. This is cloud-based applications actually. Yes, you can have Word, MS Word, MS PowerPoint,
PowerPoint, MS Excel, MS Access,
Outlook also, to
Outlook,
access emails.
link,
All
link
these,
for chat.
yes, correct. All these applications actually is a cloud-based applications, and to secure them also, we need to have IAM in place. What are the general applications we use for office purpose, right? This is one application, Office 365, and we need to have Zira to maintain the tickets, service tickets. What service now? That is also one tool.
And Acrobat PDF.
Yes, that is also. So all these applications have to have access for the employees or users.
So all these web-based applications, some or the other way, there will be some sort of server, like like even in cloud also, there will be some sort of storage, no sir. So again, it might be storing in some sort of server, but it is something like where we can access directly via email, not like separately we are downloading the software in to the particular system, right?
No. So the cloud-based applications means you just need to have internet. Just to go and access the application. Suppose you are using CRM application, customer relationship management application, right? On a daily basis, you need to maintain this application for your organization, CRM. How many leads you have come, how you converted it to customers, whether they purchased any items or not. So right from the inquiry to become customers, CRM will take care all the tracking details of the customers. Okay. But this is needed application if you go to any business, and we have very much popular tools called Salesforce. That is one CRM application. And we have, we have Oracle application. We have Microsoft application. All these CRM applications we have. Suppose if you take ERP, and SAP is very popular for ERP, right?
Yes.
So-
Even we have Oracle ERP systems and as well as Salesforce and as well as Workday as well.
Correct. CRM also Oracle have on the cloud. ERP also have on the cloud. All these application HCM also are on the cloud. So all these application have to have IAM in place.
Sir, one was I mean, even now, certain organizations like insurance companies and as well as banks, they use mainframe applications like AS400, which is something like it is like a complete black screen which is filled with the numeric and alphabets in colors. So is it what do you say cloud based platform or is it system desktop based software platform?
Good. So, see, that's why I'm using most of the applications are cloud, because there are some applications which are still working in the legacy systems and they are working on a on-premises environment, not on the cloud. So if you take each and every organization, because on a daily basis, we work with the different organizations to have the IAM solutions in place. So the major challenge while designing the application comes when there is a cloud-based applications also there. At the same time, they are the on-premises applications also there. When you implementing a IAM solution for these two applications, a real challenges for the architect. He has to design a IAM solution in a such a way that the cloud solutions applications also should work, on-premises applications also should work without any hassles. So we have to come up with a solution for the both applications, cloud applications and as well as on-premises applications. So there are systems still available in the market which are having, which have to have dependency on the on-premises server. So we should not, we cannot say that 100% applications are migrated to cloud. That statement is wrong. Or 70 to 80% we can say confidently. Still there are 20 to 30% on the on-premises, like the system which you said mainframe or something, right? So those systems are still maintained in the on-premises, and we should, as a IAM engineer or architect, we have to implement a solution for the on-premises environment as well within the organization. That means same username and password you should able to access on-premises application also, even though if it is not cloud. That solution is also available. Each tool having its own solution for the on-premises. There should be separate approach to implement the IAM on the on-premises. There should be separate approach to implement the on the cloud-based application, right? So these are the roles available, and let's talk about what are the components really quickly. Let's talk about the IAM components. This IAM solution is a generic term, right? And within the IAM solutions, what are the components we have? Let's explore that as well. I have given the generic questions. So I've documented a generic questions, like what is IAM, how it has come before IAM, what was the problems. All these questions actually comes whenever you start learning a new course. So it's always important to know the history of the technology and how it became so popular and how it is evaluated. Those concepts I have generic questions I have documented. I'll share with after this class. On a daily basis, I will share the material with you for that class, what we have discussed today. And at the end of the course, I will give the full material, project, and also I will share you the interview questions and also the sample resumes. Suppose if you want to show yourself as a 2 years or 3 years experience within the IAM domain, then what kind of projects you have to mention, what kind of roles and responsibility you need to mention. All those details we'll talk about, right? Okay. So now let's talk about quickly what are the IAM components available. So we're using the generic term. Let's go in deeper into IAM. The first component is identity repository. So what does it mean by repository? Identity is nothing but the user identity. That means user details. So where you can store the user details, there should be some repository, right? So that repository is called identity repository. This comes under IAM only. One of the main component. You need to have a centralized repository where in that repository you can store all the user details. And the second component is authentication. So I told you, right, you need to prove this to the application or system who you are, whether you are a valid user or authenticated user or not. So that is comes under authentication. How you implement the authentication? There are various ways. We can have single sign-on SSO. We can have MFA, multi-factor authentication. We can have biometrics. Like even some of the companies uses biometrics to enter into the office buildings, right? You have to scan your fingerprint, then only it will allow you to enter into the desk.
Sir, in authentication, there are certain applications where we still use independent passwords, no, sir. It's not like we need to use only single sign-on, because certain applications, if we are using third-party applications where we are getting license of that particular application from a different organization, for that we can't use SSO, no, sir.
No, most of the applications, see, that is the IAM rule actually. What is the IAM rule? All applications belongs to one organization should log in with a single set of credentials. That is the IAM, one of the IAM rule. So suppose if there is a scenario, like how you mentioned, there are some application which has to have its own username and password. And in those case, we should have an approach how to overcome this problem. As an architect, it's my headache to solve that problem. What are the alternatives? How we can integrate that particular application to IAM? So all this we will come up with the solution, and believe me, it is a serious set of exercises we'll do with that application. So we first will find out what are the technology tech stacks that is used to implement that application. What is the dependency factors available for that application? How many users are there? What types of users accessing that particular application? If that particular application is migrated to cloud, is there any possibility? If the business don't agree for that and they want to have that still particular systems, then they have to provide the justification for that, why they need to have the on-premises. After all these exercises, we will come up with a proposed solution. As an architect, it's my job to assess the requirement and then give a solution for them to solve this on-premises users issue. And it's a tedious exercise. We don't want to get into that, but as an IAM engineer, that is also one of our tasks.
Okay.
Yeah. So authentication is a one. Yeah, Suchit.
Yeah, Sadik, actually, how LDAP will run like in access management?
LDAP actually is a repository. I would say Active Directory is one repository, and LDAP also one repository. So basically, these are the places where you can store the user information. These are the directory service. It is not the database service. It is a directory service. So directory service means it follows a criteria to store the user details into this. So normally, for the application to store application data, what is we use? We use database. Either it could be a RDBMS, Oracle, MySQL, or Postgre. All these databases we use, right? Similarly, to store the users information, company's device information, company units information, all these will be stored in a Active Directory or LDAP. We'll talk about it in detail about the Active Directory while integrating the Active Directory with IAM tool. So we are going to talk about that Active Directory part also in the coming classes. Yeah. So now I was talking about authentication. It verifies the identity. That verification could be in any form: password, MFA, multi-factor authentication. Suppose you already entered username and password. And after entering the username and password, the user authenticated successfully. And as a second factor, because you want to show one more proof to the system, they will send one OTP. Now we are seeing, right, while accessing the banking applications or any other application. So that is a MFA actually, multi-factor authentication. So user has to prove, user has to show one more evidence that I am a valid user. Either it could be in terms of MFA, OTP, email code, or whatever app code. So there are different ways. We'll talk about MFA, but that is also comes under authentication. Authorization, that means granting access based on roles. So the same example actually. Authorization means once you log into the application, what kind of level of access that you have. All users will not have same level of access based on the role, group, right? Suppose you are a VIP to a club, you are a VIP club member, right? So when you enter into the club, you will be having special privileges to access swimming pool, because that is only allowed for VIP members. You will have a special kind of access to the pantry or cafeteria. You will have special access to the convention hall as a VIP member. Similarly, when you entered into the application, once the authentication is successful, what kind of level of as a user you have access. That decide, there are various factors, roles, policies, access policies, roles, groups, we'll talk about it. So that is the authorization. That is also one of the activity of the IAM engineer. And then we have fourth component as SSO and federation. One logging across, so suppose you have 50 applications in an organization, let us assume. So for all accessing all these 50 applications, there will be one set of username and password. That is single sign-on, the concept of single sign-on, and federation is the methodology to implement SSO, right? So that is one component that is also comes under IAM only. And access governance, auditing, I told you, right? There will be a access governance analyst available in the roles. So this is auditing also very important. Every quarterly once, half-yearly once, they, based on the company requirement, they conduct audit, they mitigate the risk, what are the access levels have, any management happening during the access or identity control, any users, what kind of users having special kind of privileged access, how they are accessing, all this will be done through the external auditors. And the sixth point is, see, when a user joined the company, what has to be happen? A user creation has to be happen. Then only he can access all the internal portals, right? So in general, there is a system called HR system. So HRs only recruit us, right? So in the HR system, they will enter the user details, whoever joined the organization. So HR activity, he will enter the details in the HR system, and from the HR system, based on the various factors, he will get all different application access. That is called user provisioning, right? There could be a payroll, there could be a timesheet entry, there could be a internal leave tracker. So all these application access, how you will get the same IAM solution should be in place. Automating account creation and removal. Suppose a employee has left the organization, then that account has to be removed immediately and automatically. It should not be the manual work. A HR should not go or admin should not go and remove the application from all these 50 applications. That should not happen. Because suppose if he not paid attention, admin guy by mistake, by unintentionally he delayed the access. So after he left the organization, he can do anything with the payroll information, right? payroll data, right? Or company confidential information, right? So that's also a security threat for the organization. So they don't want to happen that in place. So provisioning and deprovisioning before IAM was very hectic. If 200 users at a time left the organizations, per 50 applications, for these 200 applications, 200 users, 200 into 50, all each and every application admin has to go and delete the user accounts manually one by one. That is a tedious task, right? Agree or not? 200 into 50 was 50 applications, 200 users. Each application having, let us assume, having set of credentials. Set of credentials, then all the credentials has to be removed, all the account has to be removed. That is a tedious task. That's the solving the problem by IAM. So user provisioning and deprovisioning is the 6th component. And the 7th component is monitoring and analytics. Depending, that means we have to regularly monitor the system, IAM system, to detect the suspicious access patterns to identify it. That is also part of the IAM. So to do all these, we need to have IAM barriers. Either it could be engineers, it could be a analyst, governance analyst, it could be a developer for custom integration, it could be a consultant, it could be a architect. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the main introduction about the roles. There are some certain questions also which you may not get now, but later point you will get those questions. Right? What without IAM, what is the harm? Career opportunities again, and can freshers get the job in IAM? All these generic questions, concepts of to learn IAM jobs, right? What are the concepts we have to learn? Authentication, authorization basics we have to learn. SSO, MFA, role-based access, attribute-based access, provisioning, deprovisioning, federation we have to learn. IAM tools like Okta, most beginner friendly, Azure AD, Ping Identity, there are ForgeRock, before. These are the tools we have in the market. And the security compliance basic for auditing and governance purpose. Real-time use cases, right? A software company has 500 employees and 15 SaaS applications, let us assume Gmail, Jira, Slack, AWS, Salesforce. Without IAM, each employee has 15 username and password. IT team spends hours of managing accounts. When employee resigns, manual removal, just now talk about, right? Manual removal of the from all apps. Now with IAM, employees log in once with Okta credentials, get access to all the apps through single sign-on. Okta auto creates accounts in Jira, Slacks, and our other application. Employees leaves, disable the Okta account, removes the access everywhere in the application. So MFI is a feature within the IAM which ensure authorized users only can log in. Right? Now, let's talk about. I was thinking something to cover. Let me do this. Let's close this off. Yeah, really quickly. Yeah, salary details I want to cover. Yes, correct. I got it. So, as per Glassdoor and pay scale, I've taken some of the resource. What would be the pay structure as per the current market? Because this is what motivates us to learn any technology, right? So, salary wise, IAM Okta engineer will get 8 to 18 lakhs of salary, and Okta developer, a mid-level developer, that means whenever I say mid-level, 2 to 3 years, right? 9 to 20 lakhs he will get. IAM consultant will get around 15 to 30 lakhs. Yeah. This is the salary structure. And this is not, don't believe my words. If you want, you can Google it and research, do your own research. Glassdoor, and also LinkedIn salaries, all this information collected. And let us talk about the certifications also, right? I will cover in the separate session, But to have the fair idea, we have certain level of certifications available, like Okta Certified Professional, Okta Administrator, and Consultant. These are the main 3 certifications we have. And each certification will cost around $250 USD. Yeah. And there is if you go through this course and go through my material, questions and answers, you can easily crack the interview questions without a second doubt. I can guarantee you. Okay. And to do this course, any coding skills needed? Absolutely not. Even if you don't know ABCD in coding, you are fine. You can do your job aram se, no issues.
Okay. But in future, if you want to grow more in related to this career, I mean, some sort of elementary coding is required, no, sir? Or it's not required?
Not required, not required at all. If you want to grow somewhere within the IAM scope itself, you can learn one more cybersecurity module.
Okay.
This is also one cybersecurity module, right? You will run one more cybersecurity. You will be called as a security, IAM security engineer only, or a security developer or consultant. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, as we discussed, cloud some companies are using cloud-based services. So, if they are if they are maintaining cloud services, will they use any? Are they using server, or are they using any technology, different technology?
See, I will show you the quick server. Fortunately, I am already working on that. See here. This is the Amazon cloud, right? Amazon cloud provider, AWS, Amazon Web Services. So within this Amazon Web Services, see here, I am running a web server. See here,
Okay.
this is a web service I am running, and the instant status is running. As an admin, I can monitor this Amazon, and within this server, I can host a application, and this is my console, web service console. And here, Amazon is providing how many services, cloud services? Let me tell you, Amazon providing 200 plus services. What are they? They are providing the storage service. They are providing the uh, even today morning only I had a session on the Amazon. Let me quickly open it. The document. I think I should be having a cloud watch. See here. Elastic Beanstalk, this is one service. EC2 one service. AWS Lambda one service. Right? Let me quickly show. Today morning only I explained about the cloud. This is how you can log in. Advantages of cloud. See here. AWS service. AWS offers nearly 200 plus services. Compute services. Right? Like renting a computer on demand. This is compute EC2. Most of the Java based application, Python based application, if you want to host somewhere so that the users can access, they have to choose EC2 compute cloud. Suppose as a developer, I developed one Java application, web application, let us assume. Front end is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and back end is Java, Spring Framework, and all those stuff. And database is Oracle or MySQL. And I developed that application and I want to host that application somewhere. Then only all the users can able to access. So to host that server, you need to have a cloud service and EC2 is one of them. Suppose you want to have a huge data. You want to store that data in somewhere secure place. Then you have to opt a storage service. It can store the files, images, videos like Google Drive in the cloud. Example. So that is a S3 simple storage service. This is also available in AWS. And what else we have? Database service. Suppose you don't want to have the on-premises database service. You don't want to install on a server. You want to have it on cloud. Then you can opt for a database cloud service in which you can have MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, SQL Server. All these services are available. DynamoDB, network or content delivery service, virtual private cloud, root S3, all these are cloud front, all these are different service. Believe me, 200 plus service means how many service they are offering Amazon. That's why they are actually number one in the market, despite of Google Cloud and Oracle Cloud also there, Google Cloud also there, and Microsoft Azure also there. But despite of all these big competitors, Amazon is leading in the market because they are having those many service. Suppose if you want to go to a shop, you need to have 10 different items. Would you prefer to go to a shop where all 10 items available, right? Rather than going one item for one shop. Same case in AWS. There are huge services. That's why people are, because tomorrow in the organization, they want to have need a different service. They can already using AWS. They can adapt that service. Integration would be easy. That is the main reason actually.
So these all data they are maintaining in server only, like
Server only. In their secured data centers, they are having different centers across the region. They have even in Mumbai also. See here, in the one which I showed, what is the data center? Let me see here, Asia Pacific, Mumbai. I am using the nearest data center, Mumbai data center. This is an India. What are the other? Seoul, we have Sydney, we have Singapore, we have data center. We have Tokyo, we have data center. Frankfurt, we have Europe countries, we have South America, we have
Sao Paulo, Mexico.
perhaps 16 regions
foreign.
that are not enabled till, and remaining all are enabled. That means.
I think in future in Hyderabad also you might see Amazon data center.
Yeah, they're planning. I also heard that actually in Hyderabad they are planning. Okay. Any other questions since we are running out of time? Any other questions before we conclude?
No, sir. Sir, you will be sharing that file, na, sir?
Yeah. I will share right away. Otherwise, I'll forget. I will share right away both HTML file and as well as PDF file, and go through it once before coming to the next session. So tomorrow, I forgot to ask you. Tomorrow, festival advance Vinayaka Chauthi wishes to all.
Thank you, sir.
You want to have holiday or shall we continue? I'm ready to continue anyhow.
I'm okay to continue, sir. But again, it depends upon the other people as well.
Yeah. Please vote.
I'm also okay, sir.
Yeah, one more. Yeah, just 1 hour session. We'll keep it short since festival. We'll keep it short. Anyhow, we're doing the night hours only, right? So after puja, everything done only, we can have a 1 hour session. So let's have a session tomorrow. I will cover the Okta introduction part. So today I covered the IAM introduction part. Tomorrow let's have Okta introduction part, right?
Okay, sir.
సార్ మీ ఫ్రీ టైం చెప్తారు సార్ ఒకసారి కాల్ చేయొచ్చా?
Yeah, sure. You can call. No problem.
ఏ టైంకి చేయమంటారు సార్?
Morning 9 to 11:30 I would be free. You can call me that time.
మార్నింగ్ 9 to 11. ఓకే
Ah.
ఓకే సార్.
Thank you so much, guys. Good night, guys. Yeah, it was nice interactive session. Yeah, believe me.
Yeah.